He may well be using modern analogies, and that's why we can. We can use analogies of things that help people understand from a modern perspective. There aren't that many farmers and fishermen around who are going to understand the whole principles of sowing and fishing and all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm sure he does use or has people to use modern analogies to help people understand. And I'm sure Jesus would have been, operating in the 21st century terminology and analogy, not the first, you know. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of Christians still want to operate in the first. Yeah, um, sadly. Um, but yeah, but God is good. Jesus is good. They're not trying to make it hard for us. They want us to come into a realization. They want us to discover the amazing truth, the fantastic reality of what is possible, what's available. Our new identity and our inheritance is all there. He's adopted mankind. It's just people are still living as orphans because they've not accepted that adoption. They've not accepted what God has done, what Jesus has done. So they're still living as if he hasn't done it, but he has done it and he's finished the work, but they're choosing not to avail themselves, either through ignorance or through self-righteousness or basically stubbornness or whatever it might be. The reason why, I can't really understand why people wouldn't want a relationship with God once you had one, but then I know a lot of people who took a long time to get to the point where they did, Paul being one. Paul had understanding of all the types and shadows that were promising the Messiah and the conditions for him coming and everything else, and yet he was still resisting Jesus working within him to reveal who he was. And it took a sort of blinding light to bring him to his senses so he could actually see, well, who are you? I'm Jesus, the one you've been trying to persecute. But Paul then realized, because God revealed Jesus in him, and he came to that realization, and it was like, and then he basically, his response was, everything I was doing before is just like dung. It was rubbish compared to this reality. The old covenant was completely had no power within it whatsoever, but they still tried operating it. And Paul came to that realization. I'm weary of doing this effectively. Now I can see what is there available for me. I'm going after that. And he had a heavenly vision of what God was doing amongst the Gentiles and within everybody, and then started preaching that inclusive message to the world. If you enjoy these videos, would you please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe? It really does help. Thank you very much.